Have you ever wondered where, in just a few years, women will significantly outnumber men? Not just slightly, but enough to reshape dating, culture, work, and even travel experiences? The world is changing, not just in technology or climate, but in people. Across the globe, something subtle yet powerful is happening. The balance between men and women is shifting. By 2030, in many countries, women will outnumber men, not by chance, but by change. Longer life expectancies, education, migration, and social transformation are rewriting demographics everywhere. Stay with me, because today we're counting down the 10 countries projected to have more women than men by 2030, and the reasons behind each country will shock you. Let's travel across continents to explore the top 10 nations where the future is feminine and what that really means for the people who live there. 10. Russia. The weight of longevity. In Russia, the gender gap has existed for decades, and by 2030 it will remain one of the widest in the world. Women already outnumber men by nearly 10 million, and the reasons are deeply rooted in health, lifestyle, and history. Men in Russia have one of the lowest life expectancies in Europe, partly due to alcoholism, smoking, and stress-related diseases. Decades of economic hardship and social strain have also taken their toll. Women, meanwhile, live nearly a decade longer on average. The result? A society where many women spend their later years without partners. In some regions, entire communities of elderly women outnumber men 2-to-1. 9. Ukraine, a nation of resilient women. Ukraine's story is one of strength and survival, and women have long carried that weight. The gender imbalance here is driven by similar forces as Russia's: lower male life expectancy, conflict, and migration. Even before recent wars, men in Ukraine face shorter lifespans due to heavy industry, alcohol abuse, and stress. Meanwhile, women consistently live longer, better educated lives. Now, with younger men leaving to find work abroad or serve in the military, the ratio is shifting further. By 2030, Ukraine's population is projected to have a clear female majority. Women already dominate higher education and many sectors of the workforce. This growing demographic influence may accelerate cultural change, more women in leadership, civil service, and rebuilding efforts. 8. Portugal. The quiet rise of the female majority. In Southern Europe, Portugal stands out as a country where women are steadily becoming the majority. Aging plays the biggest role. The population is getting older, and women live longer, often well into their 80s and beyond. Migration also contributes. Younger men frequently leave for work abroad, while women tend to stay, strengthening the demographic tilt. By 2030, Portugal's female population is expected to outnumber men by several hundred thousand. This will shape everything from healthcare to housing, as more women live independently into old age. Yet there's another side. Younger generations of Portuguese women are also driving change. They lead in university attendance and professional careers, helping close gender gaps faster than almost anywhere else in Southern Europe. 7. Japan, the silver generation of women. Japan's gender imbalance comes not from birth rates, but from age. The country's population is shrinking and aging faster than almost anywhere on Earth. By 2030, over 30% of Japanese citizens will be over 65, and most of them will be women. Japanese women live on average 6 to 7 years longer than men. Add to that low fertility rates and a shrinking younger population, and the result is clear. Women will form the vast majority of Japan's elderly and single households. The silver generation of Japanese women is already redefining society, from consumer trends to housing and healthcare. Many are independent, educated, and financially secure, challenging traditional ideas about aging and gender. 6. South Korea, from patriarchy to parity. South Korea's demographic transformation is rapid and profound. For generations, preference for sons shaped families and society. But those days are fading. With rising education, urbanization, and gender equality, South Korea is moving toward a future where women outnumber men, especially in urban centers. By 2030, the balance will tip, largely due to longer female life expectancy and a decline in male birth rates. Women here are also outpacing men academically and professionally, redefining roles once seen as immovable. The traditional family structure, one man, one breadwinner, is giving way to independence and choice. Yet this empowerment coexists with loneliness. Many women choose career over marriage, while men struggle to adapt to changing norms. 5. Spain, aging gracefully, led by women. Spain's demographic future looks distinctly feminine. Like much of Southern Europe, it faces low fertility, high life expectancy, and steady aging. But what sets Spain apart is the pace of change. Women already live nearly 6 years longer than men, and by 2030, the population gap will widen. Elderly women will make up a growing share of towns and villages, while younger women continue to lead in higher education and healthcare. Migration adds another twist. Many working-age men emigrate for labor, while women, especially in service and health professions, stay or even move in. 4. Belarus, the lingering legacy of imbalance. In Belarus, women already outnumber men significantly, and by 2030 the divide will grow. The causes mirror those in neighboring countries: economic hardship, migration, and health disparities among men. Many young men leave for better work abroad, while women stay behind to support families or elderly relatives. Alcohol abuse and preventable diseases remain major health issues among Belarusian men, cutting life expectancy short. Meanwhile, women are increasingly central to the nation's social fabric, from education to public service. But the imbalance also creates emotional strain. Millions of women live single or widowed lives in a culture that still values family unity. 3. Latvia, the Baltic gender divide. In Latvia, the gender gap is one of Europe's largest, and it's widening. For every 100 women, there are barely 85 men. By 2030, that divide will deepen, driven by the same forces shaping Eastern Europe: male health crises, emigration, and aging. Latvian men have shorter lifespans, often by more than 10 years, and many move abroad for work, leaving behind a predominantly female population. Women dominate universities and much of the workforce, particularly in healthcare and education. This female majority future brings both opportunity and challenge. Latvia is becoming one of the most gender-progressive societies in its region, but also one where loneliness and aging weigh heavily. 2. Thailand, migration and modernity. Southeast Asia's story is different. In Thailand, the gender balance is shifting not only because women live longer, but because migration reshapes the population. Millions of Thai men work overseas in construction or manufacturing, while women dominate healthcare, tourism, and local businesses. This has already tilted demographics in urban centers, and by 2030, women will form a clear majority in key regions. Thai women are also marrying later, pursuing higher education, and choosing independence over tradition. The shift is cultural as much as numerical. 1. United States, the subtle majority. In the U.S., the gender balance has hovered near equal for decades, but that's changing. By 2030, women will slightly outnumber men, thanks to higher life expectancy, lower male health outcomes, and a shrinking younger male population. Women already make up nearly 57% of college graduates and dominate the healthcare and education sectors. As men face higher mortality rates from accidents, lifestyle diseases, and mental health challenges, the demographic curve bends toward women. This shift will reshape households, workplaces, and politics. By 2030, the average American household will be smaller, older, and more likely led by a woman. Across continents and cultures, one truth is emerging. The world of 2030 will look more feminine, not by design, but by destiny. Longer lives, better education, and changing roles are rewriting the balance of humanity. And the story of the next decade will be this: a world where women aren't just surviving longer, they're shaping the future. But here's the real question. What will the world look like when women become the majority in even more countries? More leadership? More innovation? More stability? Or something entirely unexpected? Tell me what you think, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.